Hi, I'm Louise Hemmeter. My colleagues and I developed the pyramid model over 20 years ago, and since then we've developed extensive training and implementation materials to support the use of the pyramid model in a range of early childhood settings, including kindergarten. This work has involved many researchers, practitioners, administrators, and policymakers, and has been funded by the U.S. Departments of Education and Health and Human Services, as well as state agencies and private foundations. The purpose of this video is to tell you about the research that shows that the pyramid model is effective for supporting young children's social emotional development and preventing and addressing their challenging behavior. We began this research by conducting 2 randomized studies to see what happens when teachers are coached to use the pyramid model practices in their classroom. To do these studies, we recruited preschool classroom teachers and randomly assigned them to 2 groups. One group, the comparison group, kept teaching as they would do if they were not in this study. For the teachers in the intervention group, we provided a series of workshops on the practices. We gave them practice guides and some classroom materials and provided weekly coaching on how to use the practices in their classroom. The first 3 things we provided, workshops, practice guides, and classroom materials, are pretty standard when teachers participate in professional development. We added the coaching because there's a lot of research that says coaching helps teachers use new practices in a way that leads to better outcomes for children. We anticipated that coaching would be particularly important because we were asking teachers to think differently about how they respond to and address young children's challenging behavior and social emotional skill development. We wanted to answer 2 main questions in this study. First, we wanted to know if implementing the pyramid model practices would make a difference for all children in the classroom in terms of their social emotional development. And second, we wanted to know if it would make a difference specifically for those children with challenging behavior. There were 3 important findings. The first one was that teachers who received coaching significantly improved their use of the pyramid model practices in their classrooms. We also saw that teachers who learned to use the pyramid practices during this study continued to use them in the next school year, even when they weren't being coached. In classrooms where teachers learned to use the pyramid model practices, all children, including children with challenging behavior, were rated by their teachers as having better social emotional skills. In addition, children with challenging behavior were observed to have improvements in their social interactions with other children. In the studies I just described, university research team members provided the coaching to teachers. We knew we needed to figure out how this could be implemented at scale in community programs like Child Care and Head Start when they didn't have access to researchers who could be coaches. We wanted to figure out how programs could do the pyramid model in all their classrooms. So we did another study. In this study, we started with the program and established a leadership team that included a coach from the program that would help teachers implement the practices. We provided the team with training and support to implement pyramid practices in all of their classrooms. In this initial study of program-wide implementation, we wanted to know if we helped programs establish a leadership team and develop an action plan, would it result in increases in program-wide supports for pyramid model implementation, and would it result specifically in improvements in teachers' use of pyramid model practices? We randomly assigned programs to 2 groups. The programs in the control condition continued to use the practices they had always used. For the intervention group, we supported them to establish a leadership team, and we provided ongoing training and support to implement the pyramid model program-wide. We were excited to see that the intervention worked. We found that supporting a program leadership team resulted in changes in program-wide implementation supports, and teachers in those programs improved their use of the pyramid model practices. So here's where we are. We're confident that the pyramid model practices make a difference for all young children, including those with challenging behavior. We know how to help teachers use those practices with fidelity and continue to use them over time. By helping programs know how to support their teachers to use the practices, more children can benefit from this approach. We can't wait to continue this journey, and we're so glad you're on the journey with us.